Hi guys, and welcome back to the Voice Note, the mini-sodes that go alongside Glorified Gist. I'm your host, Asha, and I have missed the Voice Note so much. Guys, it's been about a month since I've recorded an episode of the Voice Note. We took a break. I've also had technical difficulties. There's been a lot going on, but I am back. So let me explain the Voice Note for those of you who are new. And if you're new, welcome. So the Voice Note is a mini-sode that goes alongside Glorified Gist, where Glorified Gist is a quite structured podcast, shall I say, and usually runs for a minimum of an hour. And we have segments and sections and guests. The Voice Note is just me, your girl, Asha, which I'm going to keep saying because I've noticed I never introduce myself. I never ever introduce myself. And I'm like, how are people going to know who this person is talking? And while I do put it on the screen for YouTube, I realized that my audio listeners, and oh my God, I actually have audio listeners, which I'm really surprised about, but I'm so grateful for. You guys don't get to see the YouTube edits. And so you don't know me. You might not even know what I look like. Oh, well, maybe you do because I know my pictures in the cover art, I think it's called. But you might not know my name. So hi, I'm Janelle Asher, and I've been doing this podcast for almost 4 months now, and it's hell. No, I'm joking. It's not hell, but it is quite hard. Did I finish explaining the voice note? I can't remember. But Glorified Gist is quite structured with guests and segments, and the voice note is just me by myself, chopping it up, talking about my thoughts, feelings, and whatever else is going on in my life. I think I tend to share a little bit more of my personal life on the voice note than Glorified Gist because I have to account for a guest and what they might want to speak about or what they're going through. But also, less people listen to the voice note, so I feel like I'm low-key talking to myself, and it's kind of like a diary, and I guess that makes me feel more comfortable. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, guys, I have missed the voice note so much. I feel like a lot of effort is required to put on Glorified Gist in the full episodes, and it can get quite tedious. I know I'm very new, so I've got a long way to go in terms of this whole podcasting thing, but I feel like Glorified Gist is a very quick setup. It's very low maintenance, shall we say, and I feel like I get to just bring myself and my thoughts and feelings rather than thinking about who's my next guest going to be, what time am I going to get to the studio, how am I going to set up, what's the camera angle, are the batteries charged, do I have my cue cards, do I have the pillow talk stuff, what did I forget today, do I need to call my mom or my brother and ask them to drop me something that I've forgotten. It's just low maintenance is the best way to describe it. And learning how hard podcasting is, I really appreciate the low maintenance side. And I think I appreciate the low maintenance side right now more than ever because I feel like I'm experiencing a lot of resistance when it comes to this podcasting thing. And I'm very new, so I don't want anyone to think, oh, this girl's hardly tried and she's already complaining. I'm not. But it does take a lot to put on what looks like not that much. What you see that looks like an hour of content can actually be almost 3 days. 3 days unpaid, might I add, which is fine because I'm passionate, but it's really taxing when you start to prioritize your real life things and the things that actually pay you and the things that don't stop because you just decided you wanted to have a podcast. And I feel like I've been finding it a bit harder to show up recently because I don't know, I've just had loads of technical difficulties. One of my mics broke, and it broke while my guest was there, so then he had to sort that out. Well, not sort it out because the mic wasn't working, but we had to spend probably half an hour trying to figure it out. Shout out to Chids for helping me. There's also the trying to find guests and stuff, which can be hard, but then not feeling like I want to do a solo episode all the time because I know that the voice note is going to be a solo episode. My laptop is old. My laptop is really old and it's low-key on its last legs. It might look good, but the internal side, the battery is a mess. And I actually did take it to Mac to get it replaced, but they basically said to me, replacing the battery isn't going to do much for you because of how old your laptop is. You're going to probably end up needing to get a new one anyway, so it'd be better to just invest in a new one. Maybe do an exchange so I get money off a new laptop and stuff, but even that is not in the budget. Yeah, there's just been a lot of resistance and a lot of things making it feel harder to just show up and record, let alone edit, let alone this, let alone that. Do you know what I mean? But I'm still here, and I speak about that a lot in episode 7, so I'm not going to get too much into it now. I will say for episode 7, don't expect any discussions of reality TV. Don't expect any discussions of popular culture. It's basically all gist, all gist or stress, maybe, shall I say, because I really get into it with my guests and just talk about what I'm going through a little bit. It's a good episode. I haven't edited it yet, but it was a good conversation. It's just not like filled with citations and what's going on in like current affairs and pop culture and that sort of stuff. And because of that, I decided I will make this voice note episode me talking a little bit about the things that are going on and have been going on since I've been away. And boy, has there been so much. We had the conversation mainly on TikTok about natural hair. There's a girl called Sharon on TikTok and I actually really like her. And she basically started talking about wigs and how we talk about how wigs are a lot less maintenance than our natural hair. But really we need to interrogate how that's self-hate. And if we would put the amount of time we put into our wigs, into our natural hair, we would like be able to treat our hair better, wear our hair out and not continue to be indoctrinated by what the white man did to us and believe that our natural hair isn't beautiful or professional or anything like that. And she also spoke about braids, which kind of gagged me a little bit, I'm not going to lie, because I don't wear wigs. I haven't worn wigs for probably almost 4 or 5 years now. So I was like, yeah, she ain't talking to me. But then she was like, and if you wear braids all the time, that's an issue too, because why can't you have your natural hair out? And I was like, oh, because even though I do wear my natural hair out, I usually put that shit in a slip back bun, I'm not going to lie. Like, it's very rare that I have my curls out. And I was thinking, you know what? Yeah, I probably should make more of an effort to wear my hair in its natural state. Like, it's not actually everyday blow dryer. It's not actually everyday straighteners. And I think sometimes I think that my hair is healthy, which to be fair, I guess it is. But because I see length, I don't think about other things like, do I have a lot of heat damage, and like, has my curl pattern changed, and is my hair getting enough moisture, and all of these things. Like, I do decent, but there's always room to do more. If I have time to blow dry and straighten my hair, which takes like an hour and a bit, then I can do a curly twist out or whatever and wear my hair out a little bit more, you know. So that's something I'm thinking about doing. There's also the Receipts podcast coming to an end. Oh my god, it's no secret that I am a big fan of the Receipts. They were the first podcast I ever properly listened to. And I have been rocking with them since 2017, so 9 years now. I feel like as in the past like year or 2 years, it's been harder to listen religiously, because when they took a break, I felt like I started listening to like other things and maybe watching more TikToks and stuff. And so I'm not going to lie and say that I'm up to date with everything that they post, but nonetheless, I am and will always be a huge fan of the Receipts. I don't think there'd be Glorified Jist if there wasn't a Receipts. And so it's sad that it's coming to an end. Well, it's not coming to an end. They're basically going to stop hosting it maybe within the next year or so, but they're going to be looking for new hosts of the podcast, which at first I was like, oh my god, no, like I wouldn't want to listen to anybody else but them. But then as they went on to this explain it, they was talking about, I guess, like legacy and ownership and black women taking up space, and how they can have like a media company or something, and there can be people that come after them, and those people could be black women, people of color, or minorities. And I actually think that's a really, really good thing. So I'm excited to see what comes out of it, but I am so sad that they are coming to an end as we know it. Love black women from infinity to infinity. Everybody knows I'm really pro-black, I'm really pro-black women, and to just look at the things that they've done in the industry, and to be in it for 10 years, and to go through 2 changes in terms of their ensemble and how many people make up the Receipts, and still put on an amazing show. Love them down. You just know you got a fan in me. I wonder if they've still got tickets to their live show, because I really want to go. I've never been to a live show, and I guess I'd be going by myself unless someone's listening to this and you want to come with me. But I think for them it's worth it. So I actually might look into that. What else is going on? Oh my god, Olivia, Attwood and Bradley Dack split up. I'll be surprised if anybody knows about this, because this is some white people shit, some white British people business, right? But I dabble into the white British, I can't even speak. I dabble in that too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I love Olivia Attwood. I've loved her since she was on Love Island. I watch almost all her documentaries when she's talking about sex workers and people who get body alterations, fillers and stuff. I'm just like, I just find the thing she's into so interesting. They split up. There's Kanye West headlining Wireless and then not headlining Wireless, and Wireless being cancelled. That, guys, there's so much going on. I have opinions on all of it, but I feel like in the time that I've been gone, there's been a million opinions out there already in this space, and you've probably heard and seen it all. If you want my opinion, you can ask me, we could talk about it. But do you know what I wanted to talk about? I wanted to talk about Summer House, guys. I know that the majority of you don't watch Summer House or even know what Summer House is. If you do watch Summer House, please DM me. I would love to be your friend, because I need someone to talk about this with. And I was thinking, I want to talk about this, but why would I go and talk about it on the podcast when I feel like nobody is going to know what I'm talking about? And then I was like, this is my podcast, and this is something that I want to work on more personally. Yeah, I feel like sometimes I'm like over considerate. I will think about other people in areas where I really should just be thinking about myself. That's a whole separate topic. I might talk about that in another voice note episode, because it's something that I'm actually really working on right now. But why would I not talk about what I want to talk about on my own podcast? So yeah, but because I know that a lot of you don't know what Summer House is, I'm going to explain it to you as if it's my gist and a situation that I'm going through, rather than a reality TV show that you guys don't know anything about. Yeah, so buckle in, strap in, buckle down, I don't know, because guys, this is tea. First of all, let me explain what Summer House is. So Summer House is a reality TV show on Bravo. I know a lot of people think that Bravo just goes as far as The Real Housewives, but no, baby, it's a broad spectrum. The Real Housewives is what Bravo is known for, but then you kind of have like spin-off shows or just newer, smaller shows that don't get as much views as The Housewives, but they can be equally, if not as good. Some highlight shows are like, well, obviously Summer House, but Vanderpump Rules, Southern Hospitality, Southern Charm, The Valley. These are all shows that either derive from, say, like one housewife owns a restaurant, and then a show will be about the people who work in the restaurant, for example, but obviously with all the drama. It's that sort of thing. So Summer House is a show about these young people who live in New York. When I say young, let's say 25 to 40. 25 to 45, but more 40, right? They live in New York. They're pretty either like well-to-do, or maybe they've started earning a lot of money and they can afford to go to the Hamptons during summer. The Hamptons is like on the outskirts of New York, and it's quite luxury, and like you'll have people who would weekend there, for example. You'll go there, there's a beach, there's clubs, it's pretty high end. It's not like grungy or dingy. It's very upper class, shall we say. So these are people who work hard in New York during the week, and then on the weekends they go to a house share, a luxury house by the way, in the Hamptons, and that is the Summer House. Okay, so in Summer House there is a black girl called Ciara, and she joined in 2020. Yeah, I would say this show's gone on for about not quite 10 years, but it's up there, maybe like 7-8 years, right? So I am going to be Ciara. So don't think of it as a random girl called Ciara. Think about Janelle is telling you her tea. Okay, cool. So I go to New York, I have a blast, and from this point on, from 2020 onwards, I start going to New York every single summer. So you know that when summer comes around, Janelle's not going to be in London, she's going to be in New York, right? But I'm not staying in like Brooklyn, for example, or Queens or whatever. I'm staying in the Upper East Side of Manhattan, which is a predominantly white area. So obviously, even though I'm a black girl and I'm always around black people, I am now spending time with a lot of white people. These white people are somewhat culturally aware because they live in New York, just like how we live in London, and so there's a certain understanding of certain cultures and ways of living and being around people of colour that maybe someone in a rural area of England might not have, but they are white people nonetheless. So I'm around a lot of white people, and in that I start dating white men. I actually don't know if Ciara was dating white men before Summer House, but she's dating them now, let's just say that. So I'm dating white men, and every summer I'm going to New York, and I'm telling you guys about my stories and experiences dating white men. And these men are pretty shit to me, really. Like, I guess maybe it's almost like they like the idea of me more than they like actually being with me. Maybe they think I'm really beautiful, and so they flirt with me, we kiss, we might take it a bit further every now and then, but not on camera, more behind the scenes. But when it comes to it, I kind of always end up getting played, and it's not been the nicest experience for me, and I faced quite a bit of criticism for this. So, like I said, I've been going to New York since 2020. So 2 summers ago, which would be, let's say 2024, even though it would technically be 2023, because, you know, like with reality TV. Anyway, it's not reality TV, it's me. So 2 summers ago, 2024, I'm back in New York. And there's a new guy that's come around, and he's a white guy, but he's a bit swaggy. Like, he's not a wigger. Like, he doesn't think he's black, but you can tell he's got a couple black friends. He's very, I don't know, like, think like Jack Fowler from Love Island. Yeah, maybe not even that black, because I feel like he's a bit more black, but like cultured but cool, not an appropriator, just a bit vibey. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a good time. We have a great summer together. We have so much chemistry, so much sexual tension. Like, the vibes are great. We are clearly flirting with each other. Yeah, it's a good summer. Like, I'm telling you not the tea about my summer, and you're like, oh my god, Janelle, this is insane, right? The summer ends, and before I come back to London, he basically just switches up on me. Like, he ends up ghosting me, the energy changes, and I'm really offended by that, but also really confused. And what makes it worse is he then goes on a publicity tour, basically telling everybody that he doesn't like me and isn't really interested in me, despite there being footage showing that we were both emotionally invested in one another, right? So he plays me. When we have the reunion for the show, he basically has his tail between his legs, doesn't really know what to say, is muttering, can clearly see that he's done the wrong thing, but never really owns up and apologizes for it. And I feel incredibly embarrassed. So you guys know that this guy is not really a shit to me. But imagine, like, instead of the reunion, imagine like I've told all of you guys how good this guy is, and then I've come home to London and I've been like, yeah guys, he doesn't like me, and he's putting it all over Instagram. Let's just say that's the situation, right? Cool. So then the next summer, as I leave you guys in London to go to New York again, I am not fucking with this guy at all. I hardly look at him. I hardly speak to him. If I do speak to him, I'm grilling him, and I'm letting him know, I don't know who the hell you thought you were to go and tell the world that you don't like me when you were up underneath me for however long, and we had a great summer, and I don't know why you deny that. So we have a really hostile summer together. So that would be summer 2025. So that's that. Fast forward to this summer, we're in a better place. I've kind of moved on from it. I know that I'm going to this share house every single summer. He's not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. We might as well be cool. We start off cool. I kind of make him work for the friendship, but he's cool. Like, we're okay. And we start flirting a little bit, yeah? We start flirting a little bit here and there, but it's like I'll flirt with him 1 minute and then 1 minute I'll push him away. And he's like to me, like, I'm so confused by you. And so I have a conversation with him and everybody in the share house, and I say to them, you guys don't know what it's like to be a black woman on TV and to publicly date white men, and then to be criticized and scrutinized for my choices to date white men and for white men to play me. It's one thing to date white men and they're treating you like a queen, because it's like, yes queen, leave the blacks alone and go get your white king. And it's another thing to be like, oh, you're gonna let a white man play you? Like, I face a lot of heat for my dating choices, and you guys don't know how it feels. And so when I face all this criticism, and then you have the cheek to go and tell people that you never really liked me, then of course I'm going to give you the cold shoulder and put on like a harsh exterior, because I know how to protect myself, not just from the internet, but from you, right? Which is valid. But as we go on, I admit that truthfully, I do still have feelings for you. And if it wasn't for the cameras and the constant public attention, I would probably date you again, or at least be open to exploring what this could be. And so we have a very vulnerable conversation, right? And we're in a good place. So that's what's going on with me for the last couple summers. But now we have to introduce a new character, and I hope you guys are following along. And if you're liking the story so far, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. I know it's not my tea, but I need the engagement and the will to keep going, right? If you're listening on Spotify, then rate the podcast, Apple Music, blah blah blah. You guys know what to do. Anyway, let me continue. So that's what my summers have been like for the past couple years. While this is going on, I have a friend called Amanda. So Amanda is also in the summer house, and she's been in the summer house for a lot longer than me. She's been in the summer houses from the very beginning, and she came into these summer houses through her husband Kyle. So when she first came into summer house, she was dating Kyle, who was like one of the main establishers of the summer house, right? Where Kyle was in the house permanently. Maybe in the beginning I was just coming up every now and then to visit him, like he was the guy I'm dating. By the way, he's significantly older than Amanda. So they date, and from the very beginning, Kyle is not that good to me. He cheats when we are like, he's kind of unfaithful when we're like dating but not in a relationship, but obviously I can't really say anything. But then he goes on to cheat on me while we're in a relationship before we get married. And the thing about Kyle is like a likable asshole, and this is a character I see in reality TV a lot. There are characters in reality TV who are not necessarily good people, and who usually they're not that good to women, but there are sides of them that are quite funny, and so you enjoy watching them. Like maybe they're quite playful, or they crack a lot of jokes, or just something about them. Maybe they're so ridiculous that they're hilarious. That is a likable asshole, and Kyle is one of them. Some other examples would be Harry from the last season of Love Island, the summer one, the one who's with Shakira now. There's also even Kenya Moore from Real Houses of Atlanta. She is not really that nice to a lot of people, but you can see like the fun in her. Like when she's having a good time, she's having a good time, and she makes the group what it is sometimes, you know? So that's who Kyle kind of is. So yeah, Kyle has cheated on Amanda, and he also has an alcohol problem. Like I don't know if I quite call him an alcoholic, but when he drinks, he's taking it too far. Sloppy drunk to the point where he's fallen asleep at other women's houses because he's been too drunk to get home, quote unquote. Or maybe he was cheating, we'll never know. And when he's drunk, he's not really that nice to me. Like if I'm not drunk with him, having a blast with him, he'll kind of call me like boring. Why am I saying me? Amanda, my friend, sorry. He'll call Amanda boring. He might even swear at her sometimes. He's not like the best husband to her. But Amanda chooses to stay throughout this when she really shouldn't. So then there's me, Ciara, and Amanda's my friend, and I am an amazing friend to Amanda, right? I've cried with her, I've cried for her in terms of her relationship. I've supported her when she wanted to do things independent of her husband, because Amanda is in business with her husband. They have a company, and she kind of felt like she didn't have her own thing, and so when she wanted to start her bikini line, I 100% supported her with that. Bear in mind, I'm going through all of these things I'm going through with my little white man, but I still make the emotional space to be there for her. In the summer that's just passed, while I'm kind of flirting with my white man again, and I'm not sure whether we're going to cross the territory, I say to her, I think you should separate from him, honestly. I think you can do a lot better. I don't think he's treating you that well. And if you need the support to do that, just know you have me, right? I'm a good friend. I'm not going to judge you if you stay, but if you want to leave, I'm right there behind you. You can stay with me, bear in mind. So that was the summer we had. The summer wraps up. I come home to London. Amanda and Kyle end up separating, and I'm so happy for Amanda. I'm like, Amanda, you've done the right thing. Go and get yours. If you need a wing girl when you're outside, I've got you. I'm so proud of you for choosing you. Cool. I've come back to London. I'm doing my thing. On the low, I'm dating West. I mean, did I tell you his name? Well, that's the white guy. I'm dating my little white guy. But now that the cameras have stopped rolling, I can date him in private, right? Cool. Then there starts to be rumblings that Amanda, who is now single, is dating West, my white man. Ain't no fucking way. So let's flip. I'm no longer Ciara. I'm now Janelle. I'm looking at this, I'm thinking fake news, like absolutely fake news. When you watch a lot of reality TV, you'll see like a lot of storylines come out of nowhere, and then the cast end up saying, guys, that's not true. I'm saying fake news. The cast is posting on Instagram saying fake news. Everyone's thinking, no, this can't be true. Then Amanda puts out a statement on Instagram to say that she is now dating West. It came out of nowhere. They never expected it, but they're really enjoying each other, and she's sorry for everybody she's hurt. I'll be fucking damned. Excuse my language. Can you imagine, guys? I've been there for... There's so many layers. First of all, this guy has done me dirty. This guy has done me dirty. And you've publicly said when you've done interviews that, you know what? Ciara deserves better than West. Like, she shouldn't be with him. Like, she deserves so much more. She's so amazing. So I don't deserve him, but you do. The other layer is I've supported you through your separation after being with a no good man for 10 years. And of all the men you could get in New York, you've gone for my ex-boyfriend. What? What are we talking about here? And by the way, Amanda's white, if I didn't say that or if you couldn't tell. Guys, it is kicking off all over Bravo, and I have nobody to talk to about this. I'm in disbelief. And this is another conversation, and I know people might be offended by this. I am very cautious of white women. I am very cautious of white women, and it is for reasons like this. Like, they can be a good friend to you as long as something you do is not threatening to them. And the moment that they want something that technically is yours, if we're going by girl code, you no longer are worthy of being considered in the same way that you would consider them. It's like a hierarchy of race versus gender. When it comes to being girls, they will stand with you because they know that the patriarchy is working against both of you. But when it comes to how desirable they think they are and what they think they're entitled to, they are always going to think that they are above you and they can make decisions without considering you, because when they're talking about race and hierarchy, you're beneath them. You black. Like, sorry, and I don't care who's offended by that, because in a lot of cases that's true. And I'm not saying black women can't have good white friends, they can, but I think it is not uncommon for things like this to happen and for the white woman to have no regard for the black woman's feelings. Like, I guess she said, oh yeah, I'm sorry this has happened, but you should never have been even looking at my man. What? Guys, you know how many of my friends have boyfriends? I don't even know what their boyfriends look like. Like, I know what they look like, but I don't know what they look like because I'm not looking at your man. I don't even, get away. Like, what are we doing here? And for me to have supported you, I'm taking this really personal, by the way. For me to have supported you through your separation and for you to go and be with my man, what? And then let's not even talking about the white man who didn't even deserve me in the first place. After all you've put me through, you couldn't even go and find yourself a different woman. You've got to go and be with a woman who is my really close friend. What is happening in the House of Commons? Guys, the tea is piping hot. The gist is gisting. There's a lot going on, but they haven't filmed the reunion yet. So if you're listening and you're like, oh my God, this sounds so juicy, go and watch Summer House. Go and watch Summer House. You can start from the beginning or you can start from this season. I would say start from, okay, I don't know what season we're on right now, but let's say it's season 10. I would say go back to season 7 and watch onwards if you want the context for this story. But I'd recommend you just go and watch Summer House from the beginning, because honestly, it's really good, and watch from the beginning will give you like good character development and understanding of the plots and stuff. I love reality TV, and this is why, because this is insane. But I don't know anyone who is watching this, and so I thought, let me talk to my podcast people about it. Woo! The drama. So guys, what would you do in this situation? Like, if you are Ciara, how would you respond? Because she hasn't directly responded, but she's responded while she's working. So say, for example, she's got a partnership with Sephora, which you go girl, get the bag. And then in the caption, it says, at Sephora actually rewards loyalty. So she's like shading a little bit. She's making it known she's seen it and the rumors are true, but she hasn't directly responded to anything. So guys, the reunion is going to be juicy, and everybody's confirmed they're coming to the reunion. Ciara will be there, Amanda will be there, Wes will be there, Cal will be there, I will be there. Will you be there? Let me know in the comments. Guys, I've been recording for longer than a voice note episode should be, so I'm going to have to stop here. But I have loved this. It's been good to tell everybody about what's been going on in my world of reality TV. If you guys end up watching Summer House, please let me know. I'm happy for people to message me as they're watching. Yeah, like, let me know what you think. Let me know what else you guys want me to talk about in the upcoming episodes. If you would love to be a guest on Glorified Jist, please be a guest, because I need them. As long as you're willing to talk just a bit, like laugh a bit, come with a bit of something, you're welcome to come on the show. So please DM me. You can either DM me at Janelle Asha, or you can DM me on the Glorified Jist socials. That's at Glorified Jist Pod on Instagram and TikTok. The Gist is spelled with a J for Janelle. This has been great. I'm glad to be back. I feel in a better mood. When you watch episode 7, which comes out next week, if I seem low, don't feel sorry for me, because I feel much better now. I've just filmed episode 7 before this voice note episode. I love you guys. Thank you for all the love and support. It doesn't go unnoticed. Recommend the podcast to a friend. And I will see you guys next Tuesday. Respectfully.